Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Dream Team Tonic podcast, Gameweek 12 preview. It is like the good old times, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah, we've got Scott on international duty, so it's back to us two tonight.
Yeah, just the two of us. Welcome to everyone that has joined us this evening from the Patreon and from YouTube subscriptions. We've got in the chat, we've got Miss Noopy, Mr. H, Nathan Wisby, Mark Taveras, DG Bournemouth, Eggsy, Nobbles, Luke High, Ian Curry, Roberto, Graham, and Get Carter. So good evening to everyone. Like I say, Scott is on international duty. We've been having some technical troubles. Oh, hold on. It's come up.
Hey!
So we have eventually it's worked, but that is what we've been doing for the last 15 minutes is messing around with this, trying to get the teams up and the questions up. So there are a bit of patience. It's paid off. So Ben, I know it's been a while because I think I'm going to forget what actually happened the last game week. I hate international breaks, but how did you do?
Yeah, not too bad. 85 points, slight green arrow. Up to 255th now. Yeah, I was on the deadline stream, weren't we? And we were talking about Bruno Fernandes infamy, and I had to use an enabler, getting Tito Gomez in, who he was 1.1 million, and he had a 0.3 rise as well, and he had Southampton that week, and he's only gone and got a clean sheet. So yeah, 8 points for him. So buzzing with that. Bruno Fernandes got 17 points, so really good transfers in the end. Martinez only got 2 points in goal. Alexander Arnold went off early, 1 point injured. Vardio only 2 points. Saka 3 points. Kulusevski 2. Foden only got 4. Garnacho 8 off of the bench, which weren't too bad.
Yeah.
In the end, and I've got the right captaincy. It looks, well, more or less. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes would have been the best one, but yeah, Salah 14 points, double to 28, and Haaland got 10. So yeah, 1,343 now points. Yeah, not too bad.
Happy days. Yeah, that Gomez one worked out well, didn't it? 25 points between him and Fernandes, cracking, and the 0.3 rise. Nice little risk. Calculated though, weren't it? Obviously, you knew you were going to start. It's got a nice fixture. I think Wolves have had it tough, to be fair. Their fixtures haven't been kind to them. So could probably see them going a little bit of a run. My team, 81 points for the week. Martinez. Oh, I can't see that screen. I think I might need glasses. Martinez just a 2. Lewis, 1 point.
Or mine.
Trent, which is so annoying because I'm hearing that he's all right, isn't he?
I'm not too sure at the minute.
I think it was quite precautionary taking him off, but still, regardless, it's frustrating to miss out on the clean sheet there. So just a 1 for Trent. Mazraoui come in for. See, that's how long ago it is. I think it was Vardy. Oh yeah, sorry, Cash. Mazraoui for Cash and Garnacho in for. Was it Johnson?
Yeah,
no, Mbumo.
Yeah.
So Mazraoui in for Cash, Garnacho in for Mbumo. 18 points between them, so happy enough. I don't know if Charlie's in the chat, but it'd be happy to see a couple of United players in my team. Kulusevski 2 points, Foden 4 points, Saka just a 3, another limp off for Saka. Haaland 10 points, Salah 14 points. Cunha. Captain Cunha. 26 points. Did the business first up. Took the pressure off a little bit because obviously Wolves played first. But I think everybody returned, didn't they? So obviously Salah was the best option. But Salah returned, Haaland returned, Fernandes returned. Was it just Solanke possibly?
Yeah, Solanke didn't do anything.
So only the Solanke captainers that I actually got one up on, really. It was a shame that either Salah or Haaland didn't have a bit of a quiet one, but yeah, still nice little punt, paid off. It didn't hurt me, so yeah, that's where I am for the week. Position 528th. Yeah, not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. So, on to the questions. First up, Roberto. How long should you keep Vardio while City are still playing poor defensively? Well, we'll take that one first before I go into the next ones. What do you reckon, Ben?
At the moment, I think he's probably the first defender in my team if I was picking a team right now from scratch, just because of his potential attacking returns. And obviously City is a top team at the end of the day. They can go on a run of clean sheets out of nowhere. The next 4 games, they've got 3 home matches. Obviously could be tricky games. You've got Tottenham, Feyenoord, Liverpool away and Forest at home. But you could see them getting clean sheets on all of them as well. Just depends if Pep's got them all ready for the next part of the season now. I think he would have been working hard to get this get the team ready for the next set of fixtures, because he won't be happy with losing 4 on the trot.
No, definitely not. A bit of a shock after controlling that first half at Brighton, the last one, weren't it? And Brighton were well worth the win, though. They were brilliant in that second half. That Belieber is some player. They found another one there. He's unreal. Changed the game. City couldn't cope with him. He just controlled everything, changed the pace, and Brighton just started playing how they wanted to play, and City couldn't recover. Like you say, you'd expect a response. When they went 1-0 at Brighton, I thought that was going to be it. Like, they're going to see this one out, but no, they've got it tough. Like you say, there's Tottenham, Liverpool, Forest ain't easy, but ultimately, like you say, they could keep 4 clean sheets and it wouldn't be a shock. I moved Vardy on, so I'm not the best person to ask really, because I got rid of him and went with obviously having Lewis and City underperforming. It were damaging to have an expensive Vardy tied up there. Not really. I know he's scoring goals. He was scoring goals, but yeah, I think I'm like conflicted because he's such a good asset. But would I bring him in now? No. But then ultimately, he's not somebody you really need to start moving about if you've got him. I think when I moved him on, I think I did it a little bit for the funds. I think it were to get towards Foden, who were obviously quite pricey, so there were method behind it. But yeah, I think you just hold him, because he's a good attacking asset as well. It's a bit like a Trent.
Yeah, I understand if you want to move the money into midfield or attack.
Yeah,
then yeah, you could move him on, but I mean, the budgets we've got now, going into nearly 60 million. I know, well, 58 for 59 million. Yeah, so we're nearly at 60 million. I just think we should be able to hold him now. I've got Trent, and he's my next cash cow. I think that I might need to move on, especially if he's injured.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's in my thoughts as well. Next part of it, Roberto's question. Are price rises with a possible haul better than price hits with a bigger chance of hauling? What do you reckon?
But at the end of the day, it's all predictions, isn't it? So we don't know if the big hit is going to definitely hit in the next game week or not, or the one with the player that's going up in price is going to have a good game week the week after. We don't know. So it's just all predictions at the end of the day. You look at stats and you look at history and players, how they've done over the season. It's just like you don't know really, do you? So, but obviously it's nice to get on the price rises so you can bring in the players that have got the history of doing really well in the past. So you'll get the big hitters in quicker.
I'd tell you, I'll answer it this way. I'll tell you what feels better is if you've brought somebody in, he's gone up in price, but then he doesn't haul and the other guy does. That'll feel better than holding on to somebody who goes down in price, doesn't haul, and the person who you're thinking of bringing in goes up in price and hauls. So I think that's why you do see within Dream Team now, like obviously since the rules changed, you do see this bounce around a little bit, hopping on and off and moving the premiums around, and you see it because you know if you can take the price, like if there's a 0.2 or 0.3 price rising coming, like I say, it softens the blow if he doesn't do much that week. So I think it's a bit psychological thing there, but ultimately you're going to go with what your gut says about who's going to haul that week. The last week's been and gone. It's you look at it this week. So the players that have not done anything, but they were cracking last week. It's just goes to show like you can't just pick up and choose the fanciest thing from the week previously. It's it doesn't quite work that way. Just follow your gut. And last one from Roberto: is it worth max captain this week? I'll have Salah, Haaland, Fernandes, Saka, and Palmer, who could all get big hauls this week. Yeah, as long as it's a double for me, I think it could go off any week. Really, it could help you out. All you need is if you play the max captain, you're kind of hoping that Haaland and Salah have a bit of a quiet week. Yeah, what do you reckon, Ben?
Yeah, I'm looking at the fixtures, and I think they're both probably going to have a decent week this week. I can see Haaland getting a goal or two. I can see Salah getting a goal or two. So I'd probably maybe look more to using it the week after when you've got Liverpool, Man City playing each other. And there's a lot of red fixtures on the ticker. So there's a lot of, like, say, even Saka's double. He's got Man United in it. Villa's got Chelsea in there. Obviously, Man U's got Arsenal. So there's lots of red there. So you don't really know who's going to nail it that week. So you could put the max captain in there. And especially with, I think a lot of people are going to be using the goal boost that week as well. So with it being a double Premier League fixtures, so there could be a lot of goal boosters, and then you might get left behind a little bit there. But yeah, with Liverpool, Man City especially playing each other, I just think it's hard to pick a captain this week for next week, game week 13.
Yeah, it's a good shout, obviously. But the more difficult the games, the more likely you might get a couple of blanks from one of the bigger hitters, and you might get someone sneaking with a nice big haul to give you a nice boost. Right, Grommers. Top tips for breaking into the top 100 and staying there, Ben?
Yeah. Well, me and you play it a little bit different, don't we? But I would probably say being sensible, really, picking the best players from the best teams, the most attacking teams, and picking the best defenders from the best defensive teams. Playing it safe, sensible picks, and then looking for good differentials that have got good fixtures and obviously good history of points, but lowly owned. So, like a few weeks ago, Scott was one of the first ones on, and Bruno Fernandes, and he shot up the rankings with that one. So you've got to look for stuff like that. And obviously every now and again, a good differential captain as well. They've got a good double game week.
Yeah.
But I was going to say once you're in the top 100 and you're happy there, then you just play it sensible, don't you? Don't do anything silly. But if you're in the top 100, you got to go and try and win it, haven't you? You got to try some differential stuff. Depends what's your plan. If you just want to win your mini league, then just play it sensible once you get in the top 100.
Yeah, definitely. I think not last season, the season before, when Kane was still here, who did I go against him with? I think for the last 4 or 5 weeks, I think I went Ivan Toney actually, because it was either just keep Kane in, and you're not going anywhere, are you? Because everyone had him, and I put Ivan Toney in, and I think over 4 weeks or 3 weeks, they scored exactly the same points. So I took the plunge and tried to overtake some people, but Kane wouldn't stop scoring, even though Ivan Toney did all right for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like you say, getting up to the top 100. I think first and foremost, you got to play it sensible. Make sure you've got all the big hitters in. Don't try and be too crazy or too clever with your selections. Usually you have a couple of differentials within your team, especially for the first, like, say, 15 weeks. You'll have a pretty much highly owned 9, and then a couple of different ones that'll really sort out where you are. You can move up and down really quickly, so it's once you've got up there, I think it's easier to stay up there than it is to climb up. Because ultimately you're trying to overtake people that have got the team set up very well. Have probably already nailed a few differentials to be up there. And you're obviously having to catch that up. But it's doable. You've got to play it safe to a degree, but then go with your gut if you want to try and win it. And you've got to mix them captains up if you want to win this game. There's nobody wins it by captain Haaland all year. That's not going to happen. As you can see, when he has an absolute stinker and somebody else is on, I don't know, Bruno or a Salah. Second one of Grommer's questions is United block defence a sensible move or a silly move? I think Scott had a bit of a block, did he, United? He had Dowell and Mazraoui.
Yeah.
Dowell went off it early though, didn't he?
Yeah, like 58th minute, missed the clean sheet.
Yeah. Bit of a sickener. I'd say, well, even more sick if you had Trent and Dowell.
Yeah.
Amount of points that would cost. What do you reckon about a United block?
I don't hate it with the fixtures coming up. Ipswich, Bodo Glimt, Everton, Arsenal away. And then it's Forest and Victoria Pleasant before the fixtures get tough against City and Tottenham. But I don't mind it because they're quite cheap. And obviously you can put the money into midfield. But I probably wouldn't do more than 2. But I think Scott, it's already got Dalot, it's already got Mazraoui, and then you've got De Ligt or Martinez are like 2.9 and 3.2. They're very tempting to just plug another cheap one in there, and then you've got the extra money for your midfield or attack. So it is tempting if you're in that position. I don't mind it for this little block, but I think I probably won't myself, because I'm not got any at the minute. I'd probably go 2 for the maximum at the minute.
Yeah, I think 2 as well. I think if you don't have much else to do and you want to move across to Onana in the net, I think if you're going to go 3, it'd have to be with the keeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't hate it. It's definitely not a silly move. We say play fixtures, and obviously United have bounced back a little bit, I'd say, under Rude. Obviously, new man's come in. He won't have had much time with the players, would he, over this international break? Because a lot of them won't be there. So it's not like he's had a couple of weeks or a week or so to work with them. But I think they've chose well in the manager. I think they've gone the right way. Definitely better than some of the last appointments. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets some playing and working, because there is some talented players in the squad. It's getting the best out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, the only worrying is that we obviously have never seen him manage the team yet. So, and he apparently likes a 3-4-3. So we don't know what he's going to do with the team yet. It might be good for some players. It might be bad for some players. Like, I don't know, Mazraoui might end up playing right wing back or left wing back. So it might be better for him. But then you've got like Garnacho, who might end up getting put in a wing back position, so he'd be further back. Yeah. I'm interested in United, especially when you look at the fixture. The price predictor on FF stuff seems to be like all Man U players are all going up 0.3. Say like. Even Onana's going to go up 0.3 as well. So, but like, do we know that he's going to play in the Europa League? He might end up playing that Bayindir in goal.
Yeah,
with a new manager, he might change it. He might swap the goalies around.
Yeah,
I don't think he will.
Yeah, we just don't know. Questions, aren't they? We'll see in there. As well as I know we've seen it quite a few times when a new manager comes in, is they like to have a look at everybody, don't they? So first 2 or 3 games, we might see some strange lineups from United, because it's a clean slate for every player in that squad. You might put De Ligt in, and next thing you know it's Harry Maguire and Lindelof at centre half, and that is the danger with a new manager who wants to see the players in action. Just a thing to note, maybe about going too heavy on them too early with the new man coming in. Ian Curry, should Colleen Rooney be in the jungle? I mean, it's lost on me because I don't watch it anymore. But do you watch any of the jungle, Ben?
No, I was going to say the same thing. I seen it was starting yesterday. I watched like 10 minutes of it and then I turned it off. I don't think I watched the last one either. I don't watch it anymore.
No. Are they still doing it in Wales?
No, I think it was in Australia.
So it's gone back to Australia.
Somewhere like that. I weren't paying much attention, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, sorry, Ian.
I think she's getting a lot of money though, so I don't blame her for going in there.
Yeah, definitely not. Nathan Reeve, what do you do with Trent now? I'm thinking of possibly moving on for a riser to help fund Palmer for the double game week. I think it's sensible. There's a lot of cash tied up in him. I'm not too sure what's going on with Trent at the minute. I know he's got a big flag in my team, and same with Saka. It's not nice having 2 of your massive premiums with doubts over. Trent's got, if he does play, I mean, he's got a plum fixture against Southampton, home to Real Madrid. It's probably not one if anything, he's going to spend most of that night defending. Yeah, I think the move and trying to shuffle your pack towards Palmer for that double is definitely a sensible move in my eyes. Reckon, Ben?
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to hold him one more week, but if it's going to enable me to get like a Palmer in for game 13, then yeah, I don't mind it. He's probably going to go down in price, and you can jump on someone who's like 2 million cheaper and get a price rise. And I don't blame you.
Yep, definitely. DT Patrick, bringing in more Man United players. Excuse me. I know we've just touched on this. Price rises, new manager bounce, and good fixtures. Is it a no-brainer? Again, Stoll, we just touched on. Patrick, obviously, yeah, they're all going to be going up in price, which is always a nice touch. New manager bounce should help, but yeah, change of formation and possibly personnel, and just one to keep an eye on. But yeah, great fixtures as well. They could go on a great run. Just before we go on to the next slide, just ask a couple out of here. Luke High in the Discord. Do you think it's time to look to replace Foden? Attacking returns are low when playing and less likely to start all games. Would it be good to get on KDB before he becomes template? He came on, didn't he? In the second half, KDB. Did he touch the ball?
I don't know. I've seen he only played 16 minutes.
I don't think he touched the ball. I mean, at that point, Brighton had really had turned the game on its head. So, I mean, to come back in that kind of game where Brighton were high energy, very much on top, it was a tough one. To come back into that. So I wouldn't judge much on that return. Again, I think we've had this over the last 3 or 4 years, haven't we, Ben, where we've said about KDB coming back from his injuries. He's been out for a while. And I'm always skeptical about him breaking down again. So for me, I want to see him play. I mean, he's probably going to get 45 next game. He will have done some work over international break as well, but he's not up to match fitness. I want to see him probably play back-to-back 290s before, regardless of what he does, before I contemplate bringing him in as one of our big hitters. Where are you up to with KDB?
Well, I did think about him, but then I was thinking he hasn't played any minutes. He was in my thoughts. He might be in my thoughts in a few weeks' time. I mean, I'd like to have him, but I want to see him play a bit, like you said. He's probably going to go down 0.3 as well this week. So that'll be a big hindrance to the budget if you do bring him in. Yeah, I want to see him do well. Obviously, still a differential. Even if you buy him in a few weeks, he'll still be a differential when he's done after he's had a good game week. So yeah, I'd keep Foden for now. I did hear somewhere that he said Foden might be out for 2 weeks still. I can't remember. I read that somewhere, but I think it's just someone in a chat. But yeah, it's still early days, and it's only Monday. We've got like to the weekend before they have all the press conferences and everything. So just keep an eye on that. I know you got Saka, Trent, Foden potentially. So yeah, a lot of money there.
Cunha.
What's that? Cunha's injured.
I might be keeping him.
Oh yeah, Fulham away in it for Wolves.
Yeah, but you might end up just having to stay. I mean, I'm not completely against it, if I'm honest, because I'd like to have him for the double.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the end of the world if I am forced into keeping Cunha for his single. And then I can just keep him for the double. Happy with that. He could go off for me. It could be a differential I'm forced into for the next 2 game weeks, but we'll see. We'll see what on the injury front. Obviously, I don't know what we're doing about a live stream this week and whether it's doable, but yeah, obviously we'll know quite a bit more by then. Right, yeah. Cheers for that question, Luke. Take that out. Right. Oh, here's my mate, Charlie Choin. Best mids or defender for 5 million and no more for this week, please.
I think Mazraoui's got to be up there, and he 3.8 million, another 10 points. That's 30 points in the last 3 games. Yeah, he's high on the agenda for me. Delict, I liked as well, but yeah, like we said, it might be risky, but surely paying the money to get him in recently, I think he's got to start. And obviously, if Trent's injured, Connor Bradley could be interesting, but obviously we don't know the details of the injury yet. Connor Bradley 2.3 million, and he could be going up 0.3 as well. But yeah, not great fixtures for Liverpool. But it's so cheap, and especially a starting player for Liverpool. If Trent's injured, could be interesting.
Yeah.
You got any defenders?
I had the mid at Diaz, Liverpool. Obviously, like you say, they're not the greatest. They're not the greatest fixtures, but he's right up there now with points scored. Diaz, an explosive few weeks. He's played a couple of times at centre forward, didn't he?
Yeah, against Leverkusen, scored a hat trick.
I mean, obviously not the greatest week, so he's possibly going to go down a little bit in price.
Hey Tony, guess who's just scored for Croatia?
Vardio.
Yeah, against Portugal.
It's crazy how high up he plays. He's such a threat. He's got a good strike on him as well, and he's there you are. Vardio 4.8 million. Tottenham home to Feyenoord. Another. If you've got him, you can't get rid of him because of things like that. I think they've been my options for this week. Really, obviously United. They've got such a nice fixture. Well, nice couple of fixtures. What do they do with the team? Who plays where? I'd like Garnacho. He played both games. Defense wise, obviously, other than Vardio, no one really jumps out at me. The United defense, obviously, but they're not guaranteed. I think you get plenty of your money for 5 million. But if it's a choice between a midfielder or a defender, obviously, as Joey said, it's best mids or defender. Got to go mids. Got to go mids and put your value up into midfield, mate. Don't want to be putting that much money back in defence for me.
I don't mind.
Go on.
I don't mind Martinelli for the price rise. Forest at home, Sporting Lisbon away. He's 4 million. He got 10 points last week, so he should go 0.3. But yeah, Savinho as well. But like, if they've still got all these injuries, City, he should get 2 games. But yeah, that's about it, really.
It's a tricky one with regards to when you're making your moves this week. There's obviously the United players are going up. A lot of players are going down. Even players that you might fancy bringing in. It's going to be an interesting week for transfers this week. Because seeing how people play it, whether they just sit on their hands because they don't want to bring the players in that are going to go down, or people are going to be brave and bring them in, knowing they're going down, but because they fancy them for the fixtures. It's going to be interesting. Last one from Choi Choi. Is Palmer a massively overhyped show pony? You reckon, Ben? Yeah, you're on mute, mate.
Definitely not. He proved that this season. He's got the most goals in one game, and he's got the most assists in one game this season so far. He got three. Did he get 3 assists against Wolves? 4 goals in one game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can just go off and he's probably, would you say, in the top 3 players in the Premier League right now?
Oh, easily. Yeah. He's top drawer. He's just got this. I don't know. There's no fear. There's no fear in him. He just goes out and plays football. It's refreshing, to be fair, just to see somebody play like that. You see, he's loving playing football, and so and also like for him to leave Man City and make that big decision, obviously coming through their academy and making the decision to go down to London, move to Chelsea to play football. That is literally all he wanted to do. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. I think it's brilliant. Fair play to him.
Would you be bringing him in this week with him only having a single, but Leicester away?
I don't like to target Leicester. No, I wouldn't bring him in this week for the single. I'll definitely be bringing him in for the 13, and I'll plan towards that as well. Obviously, we will whether that's Trent, Saka, one of these injuries are obviously going to help me get there anyway. If Trent and Saka are probably fit, it's probably going to be Trent that comes out and makes way to give me the funds to get to Palmer. Yeah, but yeah, there's no overhyped show pony about it, is there? He's top drawer, Cole Palmer. Roberto in the chat. Apart from Cunha, are there any single game week players you think would be good for long term, Ben? Obviously, I'm always banging the Cunha drum. Is there anyone else who you think from the singlers that obviously roll into some nice doubles? Is there anyone you've maybe caught your eye?
I like Brighton's fixtures. We got Bournemouth away in the single, then Southampton at home, Fulham away, Leicester away, Palace at home. So João Pedro possibly. Obviously, he's just come back from injury and he come off the bench against City and scored. He could be interesting.
Sharp.
Yeah. Estupinian as well. He's only 2 million at the minute. Could be a good enabler. Obviously, we know he's quite attacking. Takes set pieces as well. And I think he's going up 0.3 this week. So if you need a cheap enabler, could be a good one. Isak's on fire at the minute for Newcastle. West Ham at home. Then you've got Palace away, Liverpool at home, which Newcastle at home can give anyone a good game. I know Liverpool's on form, but they could give them a good game. It could be a 3-3 score. So I think we've seen a few of them with Liverpool in the past.
Yeah.
A long time ago, but we've seen quite a few of them. 3-3, 4-3s. And then they got Brentford, Leicester, and Brentford again in a double in Gameweek 15. You got any?
I looked across at Brighton, and I look at Believer, who seems to score well on the Matrix. But he's got a flag next to him. I don't know where that one's come from. Just trying to look on the Premier injuries, whether there's anything doing there. But yeah, I think Brighton, João Pedro. I mean, I I wouldn't be able to touch, obviously, Cunha and João Pedro. But I think João Pedro's a great shout. I think them 3 fixtures, obviously, we've spoke over the last few weeks about Bournemouth. They're not the easiest to touch, but I think Brighton can score and can beat anybody. Bournemouth, Southampton, Fulham, nice 3 fixtures there. Be a good punt. João Pedro. I think those 2 are up there for the fixtures, Cunha and Pedro. David 87 sells to Onana a good move now with the fixtures and price swings, or is that budget better used elsewhere? Team values at 58.7 for context. Sells to Onana. I mean, you're doubling your games, aren't you? Hopefully.
Yeah. I like it in isolation. You think he should get European games, hopefully. Onana, the new manager. Excuse me. But what I think you should do is write down the team you want for the next few game weeks. Have a look, say like game week 13, game week 14. And if you can afford the players that you want with an Onana and goal, then go for it. If you can't afford it, then you might have to go down the cheap route and bring a cheap goalie, and it's doubles in 13.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Like I said, it's decent advice. Sorted out that way. Again, new manager. Don't know what he's going to be doing. David F. Another David. Just add on to the back of David's questions. I plan to move from Vicario to Onana. It's only a minor adjustment in budget. But would you look for someone cheaper for spreading the budget more outfield? Vicario to Onana. Is that a move you would make?
Definitely, like I said, again in isolation. Vicario is possibly going down 0.3, and Onana is going up 0.3. So you're gaining like 0.6 there. But yeah, it just depends on if you're happy with the rest of your team. So, like I say, look at the fixtures, plan out your transfers, and then if you can get to the transfers, you more or less, and you can get Onana in, then do it. If not, go for a cheaper goalie. That's why I went for Tito last week, so I could get Bruno Fernandes doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
getting a couple of enablers in somewhere.
Yeah, I can't remember the.
I call him Tito. I keep calling him Tito. It's Totti, innit?
Totti Gomez, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know there were two permutations you had, weren't there? They were Totti and Bruno, which obviously got you 25 points. What were the other permutations? Do you remember what you weren't going to go for the enabler?
It was Delict and I can't remember now. Can't remember who it was, but it wasn't obviously Bruno because I couldn't afford him then.
Yeah, it'd have been interesting to see the price not the price difference, sorry, the point difference between those two permutations, because obviously you took the punt on the enabler and it might paid off quite handsomely, didn't it?
Oh, it was Solanke. It was Solanke. Delict and Solanke.
Yeah, it was Solanke. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it did pay off in the end.
Yeah, it did well. That cracking. It's bloody snowing here.
It's supposed to snow up here as well.
It's covered. Oh, the plants are covered. Honestly, is it not snowing up there?
It's supposed
to be further north.
Yeah, I think it is going to be snowing. I haven't looked out the window. No, yeah.
Anyway, it beats the rain, doesn't it? You don't have to listen to the rain crashing down the conservatory roof. I think this will be one of my last pods in the conservatory, by the way. So everyone that has helped put towards the heating, I'm going to be moving. I'm going to be moving indoors, I think, from next week. So yeah, I'm moving my office indoors. Mrs. is finally letting me
Back in the
go
house.
into the house. Yeah. Right. Walkingfootball.com. Do you have an up-to-date list of Prem players likely to miss next weekend matches due to injuries or jet lag? Thanks. And don't forget to smash that like button. See, I've just been going through Premier injuries just because I was just looking at that Believer injury, where that came from. But the link, premierinjuries.com, a massive list of every team. Go through there. It has the player, the reason, any details that have been given from the manager, potential returns, conditions, and status. It's pretty damn good. Probably tells you more than what Mikel Arteta does in his press conferences, anyway. it's always hard though because they're only going off what they see and what they hear off the staff as well at the clubs. So you know what I mean, like with the Trent and the Saka. Trent not so much because obviously that was an injury. He's come off first half. Saka, you never ever know. He always limps off the pitch. But you'd have thought he wanted to stay on to try and get the game back. Foden, interesting one there on Premier injuries. Foden it's a knock and he's been assessed 50-50. That's things like that. So until we hear the press conferences later on this week, we won't know much more, will we? Right. I think we're done there, mate. I think that's all the questions. No more slides.
Cheers, everyone, for the questions.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Shorter one this week. I've not even managed to finish my last 10. What's going on? Need to be asking more questions. But it's great to be back. Just have a quick look while we're on live. What is the deadline?
It's Leicester Chelsea on the Saturday, so it'll be
11 a.m. in it.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock deadline, so that'd be a 10 o'clock Saturday stream. Where am I Saturday? I think I might be sat here doing a live stream. Yeah, I think there'll be a live stream on Saturday, so details will go out later in the week. But yeah, if you could all join us for that, that'd be appreciated. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. Anybody listening after the fact who ain't a patron or a member on YouTube, find all the details in the description. Join us, support us. It's appreciated. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Cheers, everyone. Have a good one.